Hey everyone, it's your girl Lady Vintage Bags here, and I've got 10 vintage Louis Vuitton bags that you need to check out right now because these are the vintage alternatives and cheaper to Louis Vuitton's hottest bags that are out right now. And if you want to know any more details about any of the bags that I'm showing you today, I actually have whole dedicated videos showing you more in-depth comparison between the vintage ones and their modern counterparts, and I'll link all those videos in the description box down below. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so bag number one. This is the Pochette Metis East West, and she's still up on the US Louis Vuitton website for $2,910. And my vintage alternative is introducing the Pochette Kourad, which I have right here. Now she can still be found on the pre-loved market for under $250. So that's a savings of over $2,600 or 90% off. Okay, let's compare the two side by side. Now for me, I find the Pochette Kourad to be much more low-key, quiet luxury, understated, whatever you want to call it, compared to the Pochette Metis East West. Now she is a pouch or a pochette, so it's a clutch. So I did have to hack her, and I added my own D-rings here, which are screw in, so I could add my own crossbody straps so that I could get the same look as the Pochette Metis by adding a crossbody strap and a gold chain. So you can see they both have this rectangular shape and they both have the golden S-lock. Now the Pochette Kourad is a little bit bigger and it doesn't really have many internal compartments, so you've got that there and you've got the zippered compartment there. These are just slip pockets. So the Pochette Metis East West does have more internal organization, but you're still getting the same vibe when you put them side by side in the mod shots. So cast your votes down below. Are you team Pochette Metis East West or are you team Pochette Kourad with me? Okay, so bag number two. This is the Ellipse PM bag. This is so popular and she's currently on the website for $2,510. But did you know she's actually a remake of the vintage Ellipse PM? And you can still find her on the pre-loved market for under $800. So that's a savings of over $1,700 or 68% off. Guys, this is literally the old vintage version. Brought back, shrunk down to fit with the mini bag trend, added a few modifications, so now you've got a front zippered pocket, which is great. And sometimes with the vintage ones, you can't always find the crossbody strap with it on the pre-loved market, but it's an easy fix. You just literally just add your own aftermarket or whatever crossbody strap you want to add to it. That's it, so easy. And you get the same functionality with both bags. So the newer one is a bit smaller and is a bit cuter, but if you look at them side by side, like it's not a huge difference in the vibe. And some people want to be able to carry a little bit more. So both bags look great, but cast your votes, guys. Are you team new Ellipse PM or are you team vintage Ellipse PM? I'm a vintage girl through and through. I don't mind that bit of extra room, so I'm gonna go team vintage. Okay, so bag number three. This is called the Lexington Pochette, and this is on the US website for $2,580 for this pochette. But you can actually get the vintage Lexington Pochette, and she's still on the pre-loved market for under $500. That's a savings of over $2,000 or 80% off. Okay, so let's look at the differences. So the vintage one is that veneer patent leather. The newer one is a metallic leather. So they are made from different leathers. The newer one, so you do get two straps. You get the leather strap and the silver chain, whereas the vintage one, you just get a vachetta strap. But straps, these are easy fixes. You just literally take off the strap you don't want, put on whatever new strap you do want. It can be aftermarket, you can be from another bag. It doesn't really matter. These strap issues, easy fix as long as they're removable. Just check them out side by side with the mod shots. They're both giving Y2K vibes. It's literally an interchangeable vibe. If you're particular about the leather, then you go for that type of leather you like. But whether you're doing handheld or under the shoulder, or for me, I would literally just take off those shoulder straps. You might want to leave the chain on if you want that little bit of bling bling, but I'm going to go crossbody because I want to live my best hands-free life. So for me, team vintage. So cast your votes down below. Are you team new Lexington Pouch or are you team vintage Lexington Pouch? And guys, these aren't the only 10 vintage Louis Vuitton bags to check out right now. I have a video with another 10. another 10 vintage Louis Vuitton bags to check out because they are the cheaper and vintage alternatives for another 10 Louis Vuitton's hottest bags. So guys, there is a whole plethora of more vintage bags to check out. So I'll leave that video up above and in the description box down below for you so you can see another 10 bags. Okay, so let's keep going. The Speedy B 20. I'm loving the Damier Ben. That's currently on the US website for $2,030 US. Now introducing the Sarria Mini. You can still find her on the pre-loved market for under $900. So that's a savings of over $1,100 or 55% off. Now for me, what I'm loving about the Sarria Mini over the Speedy B is that number one, the Sarria Mini comes with a leather crossbody strap. For me, that looks better than that canvasy fabricy guitar strap you're getting with the Speedy B20. For me, it means that I can actually match this bag with a wider range of outfits for my wardrobe because I feel like that guitar strap, like yes, casual day out, it'll be great. But if you want to have like a date night, that's not really got that cute date night vibes. It's just too casual. And another thing I'm loving of the Sarria Mini is that number one, it's more structured than the Speedy B20. So you can go a little bit more formal if you wanted to. And also those zippers extend further down the bag as compared to the Speedy B20. That means you can get a wider mouth opening when you open the bag and it's going to be easier to get your things in and out. So for me, I am more team Sarria Mini. Cast your votes down below. Team Speedy B20 or Team Sarria Mini. And guys, if you're actually into classic bags rather than hot trending bags, I have another 5 vintage bags from Louis Vuitton for you to check out because they're actually my cheaper vintage alternatives to Louis Vuitton's classic bags like the Speedy, like the Neverfull. So if you're a classic bag girl, then check out that video as well and I'll link that up above and in the description box down below. And don't forget, if you want to know more details about any of the bags I'm showing you today in this video, each bag has their own dedicated, more in-depth comparison video to their modern counterpart. So if you want to deep dive further, see more details before hitting buy on any of these, I'll link all those videos in the description box down below for you. Okay, so bag number 5. This is the Tilsitt bag and she's on the US website for $2,640 US. But did you know that this is a remake of the vintage Tilsitt? And you can still find the vintage Tilsitt for under $800 US on the pre-loved market. So that's a savings of over $1,800 or 70% off. Guys, they just got that vintage one. They redid it up, changed it from epi to monogram and shrunk her down to fit with the mini bag trend. And now on the new one, you do get a top handle as well as a removable crossbody strap. Whereas on the vintage one, you do have a crossbody strap, but it is not removable and you only have one adjustment settings, like a shoulder setting or a long setting. That's it. But for me, that vintage one, the size is not too big. Like that size to me is better than the new one. Like the new one's cute, but maybe like a little bit too small. Like you have to remember, the more structured the bag is, the less capacity because it's not pliable. So if it's a really structured bag, you don't want to go too small because you're not really going to be able to fit a lot in. Particularly when you have a curved bottom, it can be deceptive as to what the capacity really is. Now for the vintage one, it's got that low key, that understated, that quiet luxury epi leather, meaning no logos, and even the clasp is different. Check out the clasp on the vintage epi one. It is definitely more low-key and I'm loving the clasp better compared to the one on the new monogram one. And fun fact, the vintage Tilsitt wasn't actually one bag. It was a whole range, in 3 bags in this range. So you have the regular Tilsitt, which is what we just looked at. Then they have like a Pochette Tilsitt, also known as the pre-bag. Then they have the bum bag Tilsitt. So these all came with gold hardware and in those vintage epi colors, which I love. I'm a big fan of Kenyan Fawn. This is what Kenyan Fawn looks like. It's that caramel, really popular for fall. So that caramel color right there. And for me, I'm gonna go team vintage Tilsitt. So cast your votes down below. Are you team new Tilsitt or team vintage Tilsitt? And honestly, for me, I want to go for the Pochette version, the pre-bag. Okay guys, so bag number 6. So this is the on-the-go East-West. She's still on the website for $2,860. Now let me introduce you to the PopInCourt bag, and she can be found in the pre-loved market for under $750. Now, even though that on-the-go East-West is not officially a remake of this vintage bag, but just have a look at them. Look at that resemblance. Come on, you can't deny that resemblance. The rectangular shape, the top handles, there's definitely some resemblance there. But that PopInCourt, this version does not have a crossbody strap. But for me, straps are not hard fixes. You just add your own strap, clip it on, easy fix. But if you are truly a crossbody girl and you have no need for top handles, they actually make the PopInCourt in a long shoulder version. So you can actually go for that version instead of this top handle version. And that one has 2 zips, so it's really convenient to get in and out of the bag. Now these bags are bigger than the on-the-go East-West, but again, like you may have a lot of things to carry. You might be the type of girl that likes bigger bags. And if you look at them in the mod shots, like they're still both really beautiful bags. One is just a little bit bigger. One is totally monogram. One has reverse monogram. So cast your votes down below. Are you team on the go East-West, or are you team vintage PopInCourt bag? Okay, so bag number 7. This is the Saumur BB bag, and she's on the website for $2,030 US. Introducing the vintage Saumurs. These are the original OG Saumurs, and you can still find them for under $600 in the pre-loved market. That's a savings of over $1,400 or 70% off. And guys, the vintage Saumurs, they were made in 3 sizes. There was the 30, there was the 35, there was the 43. Now the Saumur BB, yes, it is that old Saumur, brought back, shrunk down to fit with the mini bag trend. Now you do get some upgrades. So the clasp is now not a buckle. It is a magnetic clasp. They did keep the look of a fake buckle on top to pay homage to the original one. But for me, that is a welcomed upgrade. I'm not really like a full-on buckle kind of girl. It's a bit too fussy for me. But that is 2 different use cases for these bags, because now you have a small BB cute bag which you get a crossbody strap and a top handle versus the old messenger OG bags. So for me, they don't fit the same use case, and there's room for both in your collection if you want. The vintage ones, for me, I've seen them more as like a nappy or a diaper bag for mums. I see them more as a workhorse bag. I see them as a unisex bag. So for me, you get that same shape, that same look, but the use case of the bag is 2 different ones. So if you're not a BB bag kind of girl, maybe that messenger bag, that workhorse size and shape is more for you. Bag number 8. This is the MicroChantilly bag, and she's still on the website for $1,670 US. Now guys, this is a very small bag, hence the name MicroChantilly. Now introducing the vintage Chantilly, and you can still find her on the pre-loved market for under $600. That's a savings of over $1,000 or 64% off. Now for me, the MicroChantilly, it's just too small, too micro for me. So for me, the vintage versions, which you can get in the PM, which you can get in the MM, or which you can get in the GM, these are more realistic sizes for practical daily use. I know some people are really cool with just having a micro bag, but for me personally, it's just not functional enough, particularly for that price. And again, they did upgrade the clasp just like the Saumur. So it's actually a magnetic clasp, but they have that fake buckle to pay homage to the original Chantilly, which does have a real buckle. But if you look at them side by side on the mod shots, like for me, that vintage one, again, it just looks more practical, looks more realistic. Like the MicroChantilly, it's super cute, looks like a little card holder on a chain, but I am team vintage. So give me your thoughts down below, cast your vote. Team MicroChantilly or team vintage Chantilly? Bag number 9. So the Pochette Accessoires 2023 with a chain. Okay, they took away the Pochette Accessoires monogram, which was priced at $1,290. They made these upgrades. So what did they do? They added an extra gold chain and they added an extra internal zippered pocket. brought her back and priced her at $1,520. It went up by another $230 for those add-ons, so the gold chain and the extra internal zippered compartment. Oh, it's a lot for what's supposed to be, or what the public consider to be, Louis Vuitton starter bag, which used to be always a classic under $1,000 bag. Now we're at $1,520. But I have the vintage OG old model Pochette Accessoires, which you can still find for under $800. So it's a savings of over $700 or 47% off. Now remember, this vintage old model, this is not the one that just got discontinued. The one that just got discontinued, which used to be priced at $1,290, that is the new model. We're going back another model to the old model, and the shape is a little bit different. So that new model shape's a bit more rectangular, a little bit wider at the base so you can fit a bit more in, and the vachetta strap is a bit longer as well. But for me, like, the strap thing's not a huge deal. Just take off the strap I don't like, put on a strap I do like, and I'm gonna go crossbody anyway. I'm gonna live my best hands-free life. So if you just check them out side by side, like in the mod shots, they're serving the same looks. You're getting that same vibe, whether you're doing hands-free as a crossbody or you're doing handheld like a Y2K look. You can substitute one for the other. Okay, now bag number 10. This is the Epi Pochette Accessoires, and what's very interesting is they've released a different model or different version of the Pochette Accessoires than what they did with the monogram. So this Epi one is $1,420, which, I don't know if you noticed, was $100 cheaper than the monogram one. And here's why: because they're re-releasing the vintage old model. The monogram one is a re-release of the upgraded new model, but the Epi one is a re-release of the old model. There used to be an Epi new model. Back a few years ago, there was the Epi new model, same shape as the monogram one. That's been discontinued, and now in 2023, they went, okay, we're gonna go even further back, and we're gonna get the old model, which is clearly more rounded, and we're going to bring that one back. And you can still find the vintage ones for under $500. Actually, I have two of them here, and I bought them both for under $200. I literally just bought this one last year. I unboxed it on this channel. I'll link that unboxing up above and down below. Under $200 I paid, and you can still find them for under $500. And they are literally the same shape as the one that's coming out now, albeit these vintage ones are gold hardware. The one coming out now is silver hardware. I'm a gold hardware kind of girl, so for me this suits me better. And I love these vintage Epi colors. I've got the yellow, I've got the Kenyan fawn. The newer ones, they're starting out with black and silver so far, so you get more variety with these vintage ones. So cast your votes down below. Are you team new Epi Pochette Accessoires, or are you team vintage Epi Pochette Accessoires? And guys, I'm gonna leave you here with my video of the other 10 vintage Louis Vuitton bags to check out, because they're also alternatives to another set of 10 Louis Vuitton's hottest bags.